Yeah, so you missed a bunch. I didn't film anything this morning. I got to the trailer, it was like snowing and crap, snow everywhere, okay? So we did that. We're here at Copart now. We got 3 cars to pick up, pays $1,200. That pretty much should catch you up on the whole gist of it. So we'll drop this load off tomorrow somewhere in New Jersey, so everything's all well and good there. We're ready to get loaded. We'll see how this goes. Fuel shutoff has been absolutely flawless. And we also went this morning and picked up the stack. There, now you should be caught up. We went and picked up a stack this morning. So changed the fuel filter out last night. What I realized, I couldn't find any water separator, so I just went and got a fuel filter. Yes, it's Fram, but at the same time, it is a 12 valve, so it really doesn't matter. The fuel system isn't like all that insane. So what I did was I swapped out the fuel filter, and fuel pressure has been great. So haven't had any issues. It's been running awesome. You find some of the weirdest trailer setups here. I'm gonna wait till this guy moves. I'm gonna show you this thing. But it's been running great. I only replaced the fuel filter, not the water separator. So it seems like I would have done it if I could have found one, but I couldn't find one. So it seems like the fuel filter is the main issue, and the water separator doesn't seem to clog like the fuel filter does. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Well, signed into the queue, and it says estimated wait time seems to be 74 minutes. That is awesome. What do I do for 74 minutes? I'm gonna pull up a little bit and I guess sit here and just relax. Fuel pressure's weird. This thing's doing some weird shit, but it hasn't dropped below 20, so whatever. Real quick, while we're also out here, I did a video on why you will most likely fail when you start Hotshot, and I had people go through and write down their comments and everything, and I said possibly I'll share certain comments, and I found one comment that specifically stood out to me, and you guys need to hear this because this is a really good piece of advice. If you're planning on getting into Hotshot, this is a solid piece of advice, and take this advice. So, number 1, start out with a fat bank account. 100%. You'll be relying on it for a while, and if you think that factoring is the answer, skip to the last sentence in this long rant. First of all, factoring, if you have to factor every one of your loads, you're losing that percentage. If you can get to the point where you can actually wait 60 to 90 days to get paid, you actually will make more than, and relying off of your bank account, you will make more than if you're factoring, because you're gonna lose 3% per load. So you're paying somebody so that you can get paid the next day. It's really not worth it unless you absolutely need it and you got into this business and now you're stuck here and you kind of need the income, but you will be relying on your bank account for the longest time, okay? 100%. Now, number 2, obtain your equipment while you have a job to pay, while you have a job, obtain your equipment while you're still working, pay for it while you're at your W-2 job. This goes for any investment. If you're gonna invest, most people start investing when they have a job. Don't quit your job, go out and finance everything and get into this business. Do not do it. Obtain your equipment while you have a job to pay for it. Simple as that. Pay your equipment off, make sure you own it. Simple as that. Go over it, make sure that you have everything you need before you quit that job. Like fire extinguisher, your triangles, make sure it's up to par, make sure you have, whatever company you're gonna lease on, make sure you have your labels in the back pocket, like whoever, if you don't have a company yet to lease under, but if you're going to, make sure you have a place that's gonna be able to make them for you, make sure that the truck itself is gonna be able to handle it, make sure you got good tires, all your lights work, all the BS, make sure you have all that. Now, number 3, I agree and I can agree and disagree with this one, but number 3 was get your authority, do not lease under someone else. You would be better off getting your authority while you are still working, paying for a job. That I agree with. Brokers require 1, 3, 6, 12, or 24 months of authority. You won't get work from good paying brokers under a new authority. So if you lease on, you might learn the business, but you have done nothing to aid your authority. Your authority costs a little up front, and you have to have an active insurance policy on your rig. Your rig won't make any money right away, but the insurance bill is still due every month. If you keep working your paying job while your authority ages, say 3 months, then when you call on a posted load, they check your MC number, they will see that you most likely will get the load. And during that 3 months that your rig sat there, it didn't cost you anything in fuel, tires, breakdowns, or failed inspection. Hotshot is a business, not a paycheck. I agree with that 100%. If you can't be smart about it, and like I say, do your due diligence, then stick to collecting paychecks, and the rest of us will be out here doing what we enjoy doing. That is a solid piece of advice. Now, the thing about the authority that I agree and I disagree, okay, If you have no experience, I don't recommend getting, if you're like somebody who is you have an employee mindset, I don't recommend getting your authority at all right away. I do recommend you either be a company driver or you lease under somebody for a year or two, at least to learn. Before you go out on your own, get your authority at least 3 months before you actually run your authority. Because that 3 months, it's gonna age. You're gonna pay insurance on it, but it's not gonna cost you anything if you're running the full-time job, and you're gonna have to pay for it anyway. So would you rather pay 3 months and know that you're gonna be able to get better work in 3 months, or would you rather pay that 3 months and try to work with your own authority and not make any money at all? Because most of the time with a new authority, you're not gonna make anything. So like I said, like he says, agrees with me, do your due diligence and get out of the employee mindset. This is not a 9-to-5 job. You can't just come out here like what I'm doing. I learned how to do it my way. But most of the time you're gonna come out here, you are not going to work 9 to 5 and go home. You're not. You're gonna be out here for weeks at a time. You're gonna be working 24/7. Even on your off time, you're gonna be working. So take that how you will. This business is a huge, huge risk because most people don't do their due diligence and learn how to do it properly. Damn, I kinda like that 2-wheel drive 4th gen over there. He's got a 4-car hauler with 2 axles. That thing is that car is literally on the roof. That is insane. You'd think he'd want at least 3 axles, but damn. I wonder who makes that. I feel bad for those axles. So we're good. We just went in there, verified everything. Now we're just waiting on them to bring the cars out. 2007, there's 2 white ones. So one of the white ones is gonna go forward on the trailer, and then one of them is gonna go backwards. So, and the reason I do it backwards is because any weight that's past the rear axles on the trailer actually picks up on the truck and takes weight off of it. So you have more axle weight on the trailer, less axle weight on the truck. So considering the truck is only rated at 9,000 pounds and the trailer's at 17,000, you want more of the weight on the trailer, obviously. So that's how we're gonna do it. That's how I always do it. And it keeps me under my legal weight. But if I were to flip them the other way, if I put all 3 cars forward, I'm gonna be overweight on drive axles. So you can't do that. That's why I do it that way. Gotten in many arguments with people over that. No, the last vehicle has to go backwards, especially like it's a little bit of fuel economy, yes. But at the end of the day, there's 2 cars in front of it and that car is physically lower than the other 2. So no, it really doesn't hurt it all that much, but it keeps you legal. What's more important? The ticket you're gonna get, staying legal, or the fuel mileage? I'd rather stay legal and not have to worry about it. A huge big old misunderstanding, you know, whatnot. And there's my 2 cars right there. And then there was a 3rd one. Apparently it's a minivan. So I don't know how I wanna do these. I think I'm gonna put the minivan first because I think it'll be lighter than those 2. And then one of them is definitely going backwards. One of them apparently wasn't paid on. Somebody didn't know what they were doing and they have unapplied funds. So it's like, okay, well, that would have been nice. So can you just use that? So yeah, he's gonna bring out my red one. All right, get this shit off. All right, here she is. All smashed and shit. Throw this one on backwards just because of how big and heavy it is. I think this one's going to be the lightest one. Hopefully they all fit with the flip outs, but we'll see. All right. All right, this one's running. The other one I was able to get running. So we'll get her as close as possible. It smells terrible in here. I think the e-brake is stuck or something. Ugh. So close where I come up a little bit more. He's gonna grab the 3rd one. Ugh. Oh man. Should be good. Should be able to fit this guy on here. She's rolling a little bit. All right, 3rd one. damage here. Too bad. All right, cool. So this one's running. I gotta shut this one off, but it seemed like something stuck with this one. So we got it pretty good. Moved it a little over that way, a little too far, but whatever. We are perfect. So we'll just gotta grab our pictures, strap her down, and then we're gonna go home, and then we'll drop this one tomorrow. Like I said, easy load. Hit the e-brake locked on this one, and we'll get her out of here. Ugh. This one stinks. Ugh, come on, there we go. Yeah, this one smells like they had something in here. So whatever. Grab our pictures, strap her down, we'll get out of here. We are good to roll home. Got all of them stacked up. We are all good. Could have gotten a little closer, but we really didn't need the ramp outs again, flip outs again. So whatever. That dude's squawking pretty hard over there. Had to turn this wheel so I could get a strap around it, but whatever. Other than that, we are good to go. She may be a little on the heavy side. A little on the heavy side, but let's take the Pennsylvania Turnpike. No scale houses. We should be under 26,000. I just don't know how I feel about the axle rating. But that vehicle being backwards and this one being backwards should offset some of the weight. So shame we did just clean this truck. So let's get out of here. I'm ready to go home. All right, so while we're waiting, I'm gonna put this clip in after we've already gotten loaded. But I did a video on, the whole double your income thing every year. Like, that's kind of what I want to do. I've wanted to do that for a while, and I'm finally doing it because last year I tripled my income, because the year before I only did like 45,000. So it's kind of like whatever. So I put that video out. I asked for a ton of your guys' opinions and advice on certain things. There was some advice I liked better than others. There was some really good advice. Pretty much real estate was something that I was really looking into, and after talking to a bunch of people trying to figure out, okay, there's laundromats you can invest in, storage units and locations like that, apartment complexes, houses, things along that line. And there's some things that are better. Like, a normal person looks at an asset and a liability like two different things. And like an asset, normal people think a house and a car is an asset, and it's really not. It's actually a liability. Having a house is like, putting your money into something that's not actually going to pay you back, unless you plan on flipping it a couple years down the road, and you're gonna take advantage of a lot of the tax laws they have. But unless it's like an apartment complex, it's really not worth it. So but looking into some of the things people have been saying, some people were saying, you should invest in the Hotshot side. And something that I wanted to say about that, because like, obviously as a single individual, I'm not gonna be able to double my income next year. Like, that's no way impossible. If I do 260 this year, there's no way I'm possibly gonna do 520 next year by just doing Hotshot, unless I hired on drivers and whatnot. But that's a huge risk. Huge risk. It is so easy to lose your entire business over one bad driver. There was one business, I forget, there was a whole story on it. They got sued for like hundreds of millions of dollars over a death. I forget where exactly that was, but it just absolutely ridiculous. Not something that I'm willing to risk on, but I do at some point plan on getting, obviously, trailers. I said to you guys I was going to be buying trailers and leasing them out. And that is going to happen. That is something, one of the things that I do plan on investing in. If I can rent out trailers for $350 a week or something like that, that's passive income of like $1,200 a month, something like that. Forgive my, yeah, like 1,200, no, that would be $1,400 a month. Especially with guys that are making this, they're making 6, 7, 8 grand a week. It's like $350 a week to use a trailer isn't that bad while they try to find something for themselves. Now, how consistent is that? I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. The market keeps up like it is. It's really hard to find parts, trailers, stuff like that. So that's one of those things. You're not gonna make a lot of money off of just one or two. I'm gonna have to buy a ton of them. So I do plan on doing that. That is in the whole thing and whatnot, but sometimes, like some of these people, you gotta look at what is actually worth investing in and what's a little bit more risky. I could go out and I could do like what Toe Piglet's doing. He's got a ton of drivers. He's got his whole business and whatnot, but it's like, it only takes one really bad screw up to lose everything, and it's something that I'm not willing to do. And it's also a lot of work for something that is not so much worth the risk and the money that you actually get back out of it. Yes, there's a lot of money in trucking. There's good money in trucking, but certainly I don't see this as something that I'm gonna get rich doing. It is a great starting point. I don't know when I'm gonna stop doing it. I plan on doing this for a long time. I really do like what I do, but unfortunately, it's just not what I want to be financially. I've been studying finances a lot, and we're gonna go places. I'm telling you that now. And I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride, and you guys are gonna see everything that goes on, and you can take the advice from it, use it to your own ability, you know, learn from it and figure your own way out. That's basically what I'm trying to get out of it. All this stuff, I have my own spreadsheet and everything written down on my computer and everything, so I know where my steps are, what I'm accomplishing year to year. I've already proved that I could triple my income one year. Obviously, I'm not gonna triple my income this year. That would just be physically impossible. But next year, I would like to at least double it again and just keep going, so that by the time 2024 hits, I said, but when I was 23, I said I wanted to be a millionaire by 30. And I do think that it is possible. People are gonna call me crazy. 100%, I think it's possible. So let's get into the rest of the video and let's see where this all takes us. Oh, pretty drama-free on the trip home. Just a lot of fatality on the salt. So, all three of them, I don't see any casualties. Don't see any axle failures. I'll probably throw some grease in these things while it's hot. The strap's good. No stadies stopped, so it looks like, oh, okay, we did lose one strap, whatever. It never fell though, so whatever. Well, it makes it so much easier. I've just been jacking it up here. You can see my tire marks the whole way down. But first shot, so I've been leaving this here, and if I back up over that, I can kind of get a good idea where it's at. So I'm gonna leave a little bit of room back there just because, so I'll just drop it here and we'll get some grease thrown in those things. Probably do like 10 pumps or something on each side. Oh, we're gonna drop, check out this Fram filter. We got an orange filter underneath the truck. Already turning black from the oil leak, but whatever. So it's really not all that bad right now. It's like 30-ish, somewhere around there. But like I said, everything's looking pretty good. Other than being covered in salt, which kind of sucks, but you know, you can only do what you can do. I'll fix that strap here before I leave. Let's see. I wonder what happened to these things. Oh well. I got something a little aggressive on there. They look like snow tires, so. All right, well, let me get this thing dropped, get some grease in there, and be right back with you. All right, dump the suspension so we can get this thing dropped. And I just need to put this back up to like 30 pounds or something. I'm gonna get all this stuff out tonight. We did go and get the stack. So we have this is a 5-inch inlet to a 6-inch. This thing is absolutely super long. So that will mean that I can get it, you know, where I need it to be. And hopefully, if this can just reach the exhaust itself, since I already have a flex pipe up there and one down here, I'll be able to just put a 90 on it, put that right behind the fuel tank. Our 6-inch stack. I need to make a plate for it. Obviously this won't be for like the next month or two, because I got to go get a plate, then I got to drill the holes, and I got to order the 90, then I got to get the clamps for it, you know, all this and that. I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna find a way to like be able to switch back and forth and maybe just keep the out the back, but I may just take the out the back off and just make it so that I can switch back and forth. I don't know yet. We'll see. But for what it is, there it is. I don't know what this is off of, but someone told me it was off of some guy. He said was running it as a like on his gasser down underneath. So I don't know, but 6-inch stack, because I know it's gonna bother a ton of people. I see car haulers with stacks all the time. It doesn't bother me. If semis can do it, I like a single, so that's just me. It's also nice because a stack helps you for tuning purposes. So you can tell how much smoke and how little smoke is by looking out the rearview mirror that I don't have. I just really like these. I don't know. One single. I had a 5 before, it was too small, and I had a 7, it was too big. So I think this will do nicely. So other than that, all those are greased. I just need to go. Yes, I know I should, you know, grease them as they're spinning, you know, whatever. But I just need to put this strap back on so it doesn't look bad for DOT. There you go. All right, that strap's back on, whatever. Like I said, I couldn't get it because it's like literally in the fender, so I had to turn the wheel a little bit, which isn't a big deal. I think they're gonna forklift this thing off for me. But besides that, I had two or three people now ask me about the white truck, about getting the, like, how much would it cost for them to put a 12 valve and an NV5600 into it. I had people ask me, you know, what would, you know, well, what I charge, but do I know anybody else who could do it? So that may happen. I have 2 or 3 people right now on the list that they want to buy the white truck, but they want me to put a 12 valve in it. So those are 3 options, or 3 people that I really hope that they come through, because I would love to 12 valve swap it and actually do a video series on it, especially because if I can sell it, do a 12 valve swap for them, do it correctly, because the way that I did it with mine originally, I had so much stuff to learn before I could get it all right. Now I can just go and do everything right, and it's somebody else's money. They can buy the parts to do it correctly, and it can be installed correctly. So that's kind of, I'm really hoping that that comes through. But besides that, yeah, let's get out of here. Close the video out. As always, go check out in the description below. If you need any like 12 valve parts or like headlights, tail lights, stuff like that, and you need them for cheap and you don't want to spend a ton of money, go use my affiliate link. I have all that stuff down there. Whether you need like governor springs for your 12 valve or a number 10 or number 0 fuel plate, all that stuff's down there, and it's a lot cheaper. And I've proven that it's reliable. I've been running the same governor springs for literally 2 years now, and they only cost me 30 bucks. I think other sites like Governor Springs, I wasn't gonna do them a long time ago because they were so wicked expensive. I found them on Amazon for 30 bucks. And my brother, he's running the same exact ones, and they're actually doing great. So go check that out. Also, if you wanna store your crypto and get paid to do it weekly, go check out Celsius.network. Go put $400 in there, and you'll get $100 by the end of the month if you use my code and code HODL50. So appreciate you guys. See ya.